We're just shoving our breasts together right now.
Soy boys.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, Lord almighty.
That's gonna be, that's gonna be the intro. We're just shoving our breasts together.
Well, you gotta
when you're having a bad day.
When you're having a bad day, all you want to do is have a laugh. Well, here's a treat for you. The boys are here, and we can't wait to turn your day from gross to great. We're the Soy Boys. Soy great.
We're both so comfy today.
We are, because it's miserable outside.
It's 1 degree. Shout out to Chicago. I love Canada.
Grand Forks, North Dakota, where it's minus 59.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Kanye West?
Shout out to Kanye West. Hey, Kanye.
Hey, Paul. What's up?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Soy Boys podcast. My name is Paul.
I am Nicholas.
We are the Soy Boys. This is the
Great.
Soy Great podcast where we cook and talk, but we don't talk about cooking necessarily. I'm trying something new today.
What's that?
I'm going to
hit
make...
us with the menu, Paul.
What's on the menu? For me, it's like a kind of a diner-style patty melt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take some notes from my dear friend, Binging with Babish. We've never met, but we do live in the same city. And I'm going to make some smashed burgers. But our stovetop is ornery sometimes, so I'm going to make sure she's on the low setting.
Good.
And I'm going to cook her in some butter. I'm going to combine, like, the Frisco melt from Steak and Shake with a butter burger from Culver's. And I'm going to die tomorrow.
I
Wouldn't have it any other way.
I knew you when you were cool.
I knew you when you were cool. What's on the menu for you today?
I'm also trying something new.
Oh, yeah?
No,
something you've never made before.
That's a flat out lie.
Look at how red that beef is.
I just, payday's tomorrow.
Sure.
So we're scrounging in the back. I have some orange chicken from Trader Joe's.
From Trader Joe's?
Trader Joe's?
I love Trader Joe's orange chicken.
I do, too.
Do you think anyone from Trader Joe's is ever going to listen to this podcast?
I think so.
Joe?
I think Joe.
Joe, we're watching you. So you're making some orange chicken. What else is on the menu? You doing some rice with that?
Some white rice.
Some wheat Reese?
Wheat Reese.
I feel like I went to school with a dude named Wheat Reese. I feel like that's a very
guy.
East Tennessee white boy name. We haven't seen each other much today. What's up, Gooch?
I hate that you just said that to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to catch you up on this. I've been planning that. A few days ago, I was texting my dear friend Gooch here. God, you know him as Nicholas. Actually, it was the day that we were recording our first episode of the Soy Boys podcast, Soy Great. And I texted him. I was on the train platform. I had just gone to Best Buy, and I was like, hey man, I don't think I'm going to be home. When I said I was going to, and he said, you Gucci, but he spelled it Goochi. And I said, well, that's just got to be the way it's spelled from now to the end of time. And he said, wow, do I hate that? And I said, listen, Gooch, let's not make this into a bad thing.
Do you know what a gooch is?
What a gooch is?
Yes.
No.
Oh my god.
With a G?
Yes.
Gooch.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, anyone not between the ages of 15 to 30, stop listening. Grandma, that means you.
Also my cousins.
A gooch is the taint.
I was thinking about sound effects. We can edit it in post. I didn't know that was actually a name for anything.
It's the street name.
It's the street name.
You
get into that drawer.
I don't want to get into that drawer. I went into the wrong drawer.
I'm going to make a burger sauce.
I'm making a little more rice than I made last time.
Oh,
Even
good.
more. Because I didn't make enough the last 18 times I've made rice.
Sports to you. I'm going to make another mayonnaise-based sauce. I feel like I have a bunch of half recipes for some. Let's see. I'm going to do some mayo and a little bit of spicy brown mustard and some sriracha. Am I crazy?
I think so, but in a good way.
Sports. How's your day, buddy? I'll stop calling you Gooch for the remainder of this episode. I'll call you Nicholas. It's different from what your name normally is. How was your day?
It was fine. I went to work, and...
Oh, yeah!
That was it. I sent in a submission for that cruise.
Good.
So, we will see how that goes.
You'll See Boys, starring Mario. That's very exciting.
ASMR.
Did you take a nap when you got home?
I didn't.
Neither did I. I said I was going to.
So you're a liar.
No, I've always struggled to nap, you know, my entire life, all through college. I didn't take a... Ooh, that sriracha came out of the bottle sideways. And now she's on the floor. So I'm going to clean it up while talking about naps. I've always struggled taking naps. I don't know what it is. I don't know how I was when I was a kid. I mean, I feel like a lot of no kid loves taking naps, you know,
Right.
Because it disrupts the flow of the day.
Exactly. And if kids are about anything, it's
about
flow.
I mean, you want to flow effortlessly from one activity to the next, and I feel like a nap just hinders that. Shout out to 2000s band Hinder.
Do you think they're listening?
What else do they have to do? My girl's in copyright infringement.
So naps.
Naps. I don't know. I didn't take a lot of naps when I was in college, which I feel like is pinnacle nap.
I think taking naps is like coffee. You either start in college or you never do it.
I started coffee before college.
I never started coffee. I never did the coffee.
You're a tea boy.
I'm not really a caffeine boy at all.
I'm not a caffeine boy. There are bits in my mayo.
Gross.
God.
I'm also not a nap person though either.
It's just I feel like
I wake up feeling worse.
That's a problem I also face.
I thought you were gonna just stop. That's a problem.
No, I was focused on my mustard bits. You know when there are like dried up bits of any condiment in the top of a bottle?
I know that all too well.
I know that all too well. Name that musical.
That would be West Side Story.
Sorry, it's Ordinary Days. They both take place in New York, and everyone's just trying to make it. In West Side Story, they're trying to survive.
But like that's the same thing.
Well, yeah. But in Ordinary Days, they're not struggling as much with like switchblades.
You know,
I feel like that looks like every other sauce. It's just sort of pink.
It's a sauce, yeah. It's like it's salmon color.
Are you getting that? Are you getting that sound? It started to get like mouthy sound wise.
I love a good mouth sound.
I had a great day.
I was just about to ask Paul.
I had a job interview.
Did you book?
Well, I'm getting there. You got to build the
sorry.
suspense, you know.
Sorry.
Well, you know the answer to this, but the folks at home. I was sitting there looking over my resume because I printed off 2 copies at FedEx this morning on resume paper, and I bought the folder.
Wow.
And I turned in the 1 copy, and then I was poring over the other copy, and the first thing I saw was that in my skills and proficiencies section, I wrote attention to detail twice. Which you already know. I told you earlier.
Now you make my laugh sound ingenuine, Paul.
You're right. That's the most genuine sounding laugh I've ever heard. But it didn't matter because I was hired on the spot.
Hey, look at
and
you.
then I was asked to start a shift today, and I saw a friend of mine at the work site. Someone I worked with at a former theater, my dear friend Britt, also works for this company.
Okay, wait. Paul already knows this, but for those at home, literally the exact same thing happened to me with the exact same company where I interviewed and then was hired on the spot and then that day was sent to work. And I also ran into a friend from college.
I didn't know that.
At the work site, yeah.
Look at that. See, my biggest lesson working in theater since I've graduated is that it's a small world and it just keeps getting smaller, which is something you hear when you're in college.
And in every
like,
contemporary
every
contemporary musical theater song. It's a small world, it just keeps getting smaller.
Ooh.
Jason, you want to call me?
Jason Derulo?
Yeah.
Jason Robert Derulo.
Jason Robert Derulo.
The last 5 months. We're full of them today, folks. Yeah. I'm in that, like, post-non-nap haze, because you know how I feel about naps. But it's really true. It's something that I've learned a lot. I just keep encountering the people I thought I knew. And it's been great.
Yeah.
It's great to go somewhere where you expect to be the only person you know yourself, and then you see somebody you know, and that just kind of takes some of the pressure off.
Yeah.
Also, living where we live, I don't know if you noticed, but there are a lot of people in the city. Where? Everywhere. Oh, another 100 people just got off of the train, my dude. So to see someone you know anywhere in this city by happenstance is amazing. And it's happened to me a few times since I moved here almost a month ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Times have
Welcome.
changed. Cool quarter.
Times have changed.
Name that musical?
That is Wonderful Town.
Sorry, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. That old chestnut.
That old macadamia.
Speaking of nuts, your water's boiling over.
That was an excellent segue.
Well, I was going to go to one of our questions, but then I saw the steam train heading off the track. I love Jason Robert Brown. I'm going to get my butter out. Let's go to a question.
Yeah.
Let's keep it on the food train.
This
and
question,
would you like to read it out?
Yeah, this question comes from one of my coworkers, Abby. And,
Shout-outs.
Abby asks, what's your favorite thing to cook together?
Together.
As
in ensemble. What is happening with your rice?
It wants me to die.
Wants me to die. What's our favorite thing to cook together?
Favorite thing to
I don't
cook together?
think in the time we've known each other, we've cooked something together once.
No.
It's always separate meals, which is part of, I think, where the idea for this podcast came from.
Yeah, I mean, I've made cookies that you've eaten.
Okay. I've made pasta that you've eaten.
Okay.
Oh, that's an episode that I desperately want to do because that pasta's dank. But I don't have the ingredients for it right now.
Yeah,
Everything that we've cooked together, I mean, it's nothing. It's normally we're doing two separate deals at the same time. Like right now, we're in two totally different cuisines.
Yeah, and my water's still boiling over.
I feel like that doesn't mean good things for what is going to happen to your rice.
We're just gonna
see what happens.
Just gonna see what happens.
It's a city of strangers.
City of strangers.
I'm gonna roll out some meatballs.
I'm gonna start my chicken.
I
I never started a timer, so I can start my chicken whenever I want because I don't know when it's gonna be done.
Joke's on you. Everything's fine. Oh my god. Can you smell that?
I don't smell anything.
You don't smell anything?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
I feel like it smells like it's not good anymore.
When's the expiration date?
Freeze by January 30th. I froze it a few days ago.
I'm sure it's fine.
And yesterday was January 30th. I don't have much of a sense of smell, folks. But if you didn't smell anything and it was freeze by yesterday and I did that before.
I think we go
It's
for
a city
it.
of strangers.
We're all about experimentation
I'm
here.
all about that bass.
About that base.
So to answer your question, Abby. We love Queer Eye. We've never cooked anything together. That should be the subject of an entire episode.
Episode 100?
Episode 100 of the Soy Boys podcast. It's coming up.
Before you know it.
Before you know it. I mean, if it's coming out weekly, it's just a little over 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, unless we unless we die. Yeah, you're right.
Cool. Opinion poll. Just you. Do you think I should caramelize some onions for this patty melt?
I mean, probably. Well, okay, but doesn't it take like hours to caramelize onions properly?
You're right. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to instead make some meatballs. I feel like, you know that game featured in a lot of internet videos that's like diffusing a bomb and one person has the instruction manual and the other person is wearing like a VR headset? Don't keep talking or nobody explodes. Keep
Yes.
talking and nobody explodes.
Exactly.
I feel like we should do something like that, but with cooking.
One person has a recipe, the other person gets to see the food?
Yes.
That's
like,
interesting.
Standing outside the kitchen. Standing outside the kitchen. Love modern musical theater. Like, you're doing the cooking and I'm holding the recipe. But maybe we should do it like Taboo, where I'm not allowed to say certain words. You know what I mean? Played Taboo
Could be
before.
really interesting. I have played Taboo. I enjoy her company.
We're not sponsored yet, so...
Taboo. Hasbro? Probably.
Hasbro? I almost said Nabisco. That's a different
Cookies?
thing. Nabisco cookies. This is...
Okay, get ready for the
bright
sizzle,
red
folks.
meat. Something fun that we learned last time, I don't think it was in our post-mortem, but our microphones do pick up the sizzle, and it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be fine.
Fine, it's fine. We're singing a lot in this episode, and I'm sort of worried about copyright infringement.
You know, if the Broadway League wants to come knock on our door,
Sure. Come and knock on our door.
and now if Laverne and Shirley, I think.
I love Orange is the New Black. Shall we
Does
move
that
on
answer
to our
your
next question?
Does that answer your question, Abby?
The sad truth of this, Abby, is that the answer is nothing. Because we've never cooked before.
You know what?
And I think
The
we've
answer-
learned something
The answer is we don't know yet.
yet. And that's why this works. If I
Exactly.
may be so bold.
I think
may.
you should be.
I think I'm gonna. You know what? Because I don't care.
I don't know if the haters get me down.
I love Taylor Swift. I'm gonna lightly salt this beef. I think in asking that question, though, we've learned something a bit about the format of our show, which is we should maybe cook something together in this podcast where we're in the same kitchen cooking at the same time.
Yeah, why not?
May I be so bold as to say that? That's a lot of black pepper, but what are you people doing under peppering your meats?
Be brave.
Cook brave, as it were. I'm gonna use
close to being done, I think.
the chicken?
No.
Oh, the rice. I was like, you just put the chicken in. I'm gonna use this.
I think you should. So our next question.
Our next question, I'll read it.
Great.
I'm gonna turn this on first. Boom. I'm gonna set it at a nice 3 because every time I make anything, it smokes. Our next question comes from Connor M.
Hey, Connor.
I'd like to find out who is the most dateable Jonas brother, please. I feel like there's a clear answer to this question.
I meant to do some research, but I forgot.
Well, it's off the cuff.
Well, yeah,
It's an
you're
opinion
right.
piece.
I think
the answer is Kevin.
actually,
I think clearly the answer is Kevin. By default, because if you look at where they are right now, look at where they started.
wait. Let me say who I think first.
Okay, then we'll get into debates.
I feel like it's Joe.
You feel like it's Joe.
I feel like it's Joe.
Most dateable.
Yes.
Okay. We have 1 for Kevin, 1 for Joe, and none for Nick. But he's
great.
jealous all the time. Jealous! You a singer?
No.
May I present my Kevin argument?
Please do.
I think Kevin's always been the most reliable of them. I feel like when they were first marketing themselves on the Disney Channel, Kevin was the most reliable. You always knew what you were going to get from Kevin. And in the hit movie Camp Rock, Kevin had arguably the best joke. When he learned that Joe's character was going off to camp, he said, "Oh, make me a birdhouse or something." And I, 13 years old, had a laugh over it. That was the best joke in the film. Also, I can't remember another joke in the movie. And I don't know, what did he have, like 7th billing in that movie?
Probably.
Kevin?
That was Demi, right?
That was Demi Lovato.
Demi Moore?
Demi Moore. Allison Stoner was in that movie.
Oh, love me some Allison Stoner.
The mom from Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh,
was in
love
that
her
movie.
as well.
And Kevin had the most memorable joke in the film. I think that says something. And if you look at what has happened to Kevin since... Ooh, look at that. Sizzle! Look at these patties.
Look at the sizzle.
Look at the sizzle. Well,
I mean, we can see the sizzle.
They're hearing the sizzle. I feel like it's our duty to compensate.
Yeah.
Kevin's the only one who's settled down. You know, Kevin is
Sure.
married.
So that makes him dateable?
That makes him dateable overall. We're both Try Guys fans. The Try Guys did a video series about dating and who was the most attractive. And Ned and Keith, who were both taken, each made Tinder profiles just for the sake of being objective, you know?
Yes.
So I feel like it's fair of me to say, objectively speaking, I believe that Kevin is the most dateable. I yield the floor.
Interesting. Judge, may I take the stand?
Well, there are 2 of us in the kitchen. I'm the other person. I'm going to say yes.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Okay, here's my thoughts for Joe.
Lay it on me.
He is a hot shot.
Hot shot.
You know, he was kind of the front runner of the group.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think he's the most recognizable.
Commercially?
Yes. I mean, nowadays it's probably switching more to Nick because, you know, he has more of a music
Jealous,
career.
yeah.
And Cake by the Ocean doesn't make sense.
Well, it's allegorical.
Sex.
Yeah, but I feel like that would just get sand everywhere.
Yeah, you're right. I think I'm coming more from a place of which one would more people want to date.
Sure.
And I think if we polled teenage girls in 2002...
2002?
Yeah, why not?
Let's just go a few years before the Joe Bros were
If the
active on
Jonas
this
Brothers
channel.
went forward in time, they could go back in time too.
Ooh. When did they
You
go
like
forward?
that reference? They went to the year 3000.
They really did. They did that for all of
My
us.
rice is done. It has to
I'm
be.
so proud of you.
TBH, I forgot about it until like just now.
So you were saying if we were polling teenage girls in 2002, I'm going to put a lid on this.
That most of them would go for Joe Bro.
Go for Joe Bro?
Yeah, JoJo. They're all Joe Bros. And
Sorry, I was having lid problems.
I've been there. Are you okay? Are you holding up?
I made it through. The help of my family and friends really,
Sure.
helped me there. So it's a very interesting case. And I think you're right about that. I think back in the day, the argument was strictly between Joe and Nick.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, at least, because I was focused on Vanessa Hudgens.
Weren't we all?
Throwback to the last episode? Roll the clip. Because last episode I said that Vanessa Hudgens was my first celebrity crush. What is happening? What is happening here? Ooh.
I'm taking my chicken out of the pan so I can drain the,
Sure. Just so you know, there was raw meat on that part of the cutting board.
She's fine. It's the bottom of the bowl.
Ooh, look at that.
Would you just look at it? I know what that... I've been trying to think of what that meme is all day. It's the lady with the rainbow sponge.
Do you want some cheese?
I'm actually good for it now. I just had some cheese.
I think I dropped this on the floor.
Oh! So that's why you offered it to me.
I was trying to realize I'm going to dispose of this cheese.
I think you should.
All right. I think you should. It's a controversial opinion. I'm going to put this bread on the counter.
Okay, all the chicken is in the bowl. Now it's time to put this olive oil in our olive oil can that's in the freezer.
Look at that.
Would you just look at it?
So I do think that you have made me think about the Joe Jonas argument.
Mm-hmm.
I had not considered it from that perspective. How do you feel about Kevin?
I mean, I think Kevin's fine. I'm not mad at him, you know?
Sure. I mean, he hasn't, we can say for sure, he hasn't done anything to anyone ever.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not if
I'm not mad at Kevin.
I'm not mad at Kevin. If anyone wants to date Kevin, I would wholeheartedly support them.
If Kevin's wife wants to date him, go for it.
Kevin's wife, you're
a star.
You're a superstar.
I'm gonna figure out what's happening with my pan right now. No, you keep going. It's okay. We're good. We're all good.
Who? What?
I'm talking to you and me. I'm stressed about what's happening with my patty melt right now.
Hey, you got this.
Thank you so much. I'm spreading some spread on my bread. Bread spread, if you will.
I love contemporary musical theater.
I'm spreading some spread on my bread. The lyrics just write themselves. Shout out to last episode, the history of musical theater. What's happening now is that starving artists are just writing the musicals in their kitchens.
That's true. That's actually what we're doing right now.
Soy Boy's the Kitchen musical.
Soy
it's more
Boy's
of a
the
found
Kitchicle.
Space project.
The Kitchicle.
The Kitchicle?
Yeah. Why not?
Nice.
Thanks. I really need affirmation.
I know. I'm here for you.
Thanks, bud.
Call me Franklin Hart. It's a 9 to 5 reference. It's a little less creepy when I'm saying it now. I'm just trying to... Here's what's going on in the kitchen right now, folks. I feel like there have been a lot of balls in the air for both of us this episode so far.
I think so,
in terms of, cooking and keeping the conversation and comedy going. Did you like that alliteration just now? Because I sure did.
Keeping the kitchen and comedy.
Cooking and keeping the comedy conversation going. The last one was a G, not a C.
It's a near...
It's a slant rhyme.
Yeah.
It's a slant alliteration. Slanteration, if you will. And if you won't, I'm not going to judge you. I'm reaching the end of my my burgerdom.
I'm reaching the end of my chickendom. I'm just tossing it in some of the pre-provided sauce.
How do you feel about that sauce?
I enjoy it. It's a little more sweet tart than I prefer. I wish there was a little more heat.
Sure.
But I think it's too soon to experiment with red peppercorn flakes again.
I understand.
So,
as we remember that from last episode, roll the tape.
Roll that tape. We don't even need to record anything this episode. Let's just play last week's episode.
You know you love when you do, when all it is referencing other stuff you've done. That's why I love Stephen Sondheim. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, this is a disaster. It's okay. Everyone relax.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
You know I love her. Yeah, it's my Norbert impression. That smells so good. It smells like vinegar and brown sugar and...
Oh, look at this heaping pile
That's
of
the
rice.
best rice you've ever made.
I think so,
just by looks alone. Would you look at this patty melt? Would you look at what's ended up happening here?
That looks so good.
And it looks so good. I didn't butter the bread. I just cooked it in the fat from the burgers.
I love that.
Now, folks, I want to clarify something about the intro to this show. We say this is a show where we cook and talk, but we don't talk about cooking. I feel like if we were just talking, we would lose track of, the flow of things. And if you know us, it's all about the flow. And if we were just cooking and talking about cooking, I feel like we would lead a lot of people astray. Because I feel like if someone who'd worked in a diner for a long time watched me make the patty melt that I was making today. I'm sure I didn't make it perfectly. I'm sure I made a lot of mistakes.
I didn't follow the package instructions for this Trader Joe's chicken, so...
But that's the other end of the spectrum of cooking, because you've made that dish a bunch, you know, and once you do something like that, especially if it's something you love, if we can get real here, it gets in your muscle memory.
Sure.
How many time steps have you done in your life, you know?
Literally couldn't tell you.
But you remember how to do them.
I
You don't
do.
have to read the instructions in the box.
Stomp, hop, shuffle, step, full lap. Stomp, hop, shuffle, step, full lap.
Someone hire this man
Please.
for a cruise. Is there, I'm not going to say what it is, but is there tapping in the show?
No.
Okay.
Not usually.
I know it's a dance heavy show.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Unless they do like some crazy concept,
Yeah.
then probably not.
Sure. I'm going to
Throwing some low sodium soy sauce on my rice.
So we do something on our show every episode.
We talked about what's on our mind.
We talked about what's on your mind. Now, let's talk about what's on our mind post-mortem.
Again.
After the menu.
Post menu.
Nicholas, what did you learn post-menu from making this dish tonight?
I think I learned I can follow my gut more. You know?
Yes.
I didn't set a timer for my rice, and this is the best rice I've made in this kitchen.
It honestly looks it looks perfect.
I was like spooning it out of the pot, and it looked like sushi rice.
Folks, when I tell you, when he lifted that lid, pillows of rice.
Too much rice.
Too much
Some
rice.
might
There is
say.
a lot of rice. How does
But
it
there's
taste?
also a lot of chicken.
There's
tastes
also a lot of chicken.
like
rice.
rice. Little fluffy clouds of nothing to
That's-
carry soy sauce.
A good thing about rice and other similar dishes, if you cook it correctly, it tastes like it's supposed to. You know you messed up if it doesn't taste good. I'm not going to try to eat this patty melt with this microphone clipped to my shirt because
Fair.
it's just going to be juicy and like beefy. And I don't want to subject our viewers to that. But what I did learn is that I'm more of a visual learner than I thought that I was.
Yeah.
Because I smashed those burgers in a way that I've seen on the internet done dozens of times. I didn't have any practice. I knew kind of what I wanted this patty melt to turn out to be, and lo and behold, that's what she is. Also, going from your gut, I made a sandwich spread from my own mind, and I know just by looking at it and knowing what I put in it and trusting my two hands here that it's going to taste exactly how I want it to.
That's really beautiful.
Isn't that what we're all searching for?
It is.
A sandwich spread?
Yeah.
A reliable one? Like
Yes.
Kevin? Like Kevin Jonas?
Kevin Jonas is a sandwich spread.
What Jonas is this? On stores now?
On store, he performs singles
On top of
on
stores.
top of stores. Yeah, like the Beatles.
Like U2? My favorite band of all time. Legendary Irish rock band, U2. You laugh, and you're not the only one.
I know I'm not.
Shout out to Sam Smith.
Shout out to Sam Smith. So guys,
Nice.
Send us your questions and we will answer them.
Or things you want us to try cooking. We're not going to
Yeah.
help you, and we might not do it.
Yeah, exactly. If you want cooking advice, tweet Gordon Ramsay.
Or Benjamin Babish.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Maddie Matheson. Or that guy, Brad Leone from Test Kitchen.
Brad Leone's funny.
He's funny. I
like
like how
Brad
he
Leone.
says worder.
Worder.
So this one goes out to Brad Leone and Kevin Jonas.
Yes.
I'm not going to officially claim that as a victory, but we did talk about Kevin a little more because I brought it back at the end, which
Yes.
I'm going to claim.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Soy Boys podcast, folks. I've been Paul.
I have been Nicholas, but I'm not anymore.
We are the Soy Boys. And as always,
Cook brave.
We're the Soy Boys. Soy great.